welcome to the August 21st, 2024 meeting of the Conservation Commission. We have a pretty short agenda tonight, so we should be able to do okay. Put that away.
Yeah, I was just putting it on Do Not Disturb.
Okay. All right. So minutes from the last meeting have not been finalized, so we'll push that off to our next meeting. Do we have a treasurer's report?
Yeah, so not much to report, any changes, but our wetlands account has $14,431.57. Open spaces has $28,302.78. And our annual budget has $1,519,000 in it, so.
Wait, I'm sorry, 1,000?
519.
519.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent, thank you.
Yep.
And bills and forms.
No bills, no forms.
Gotta love no bills. Mail and notices.
Excuse me, how much was the open space, Maddie?
So open space, we're at $28,302.78.
Thanks.
You have another agenda.
Yeah.
Yep, sorry, I have all the way
Walter?
to that one.
Hey,
Walter, can you, that stack of agendas right there, can you? Thank you, sir. Didn't mean to startle you.
You woke me up.
May I approach?
Nobody told me I had to bring food.
You know, it's an unspoken thing. I shouldn't say that on
Well,
camera.
I know.
No, it's only because, you know.
Because she's
I like black
elected.
coffee.
What?
I like black coffee.
If you did, it could be
You
considered
start-
bribery, and that's right out.
Right.
So good too.
Yeah.
They are very good too. I like
Appreciate the
them.
thought, though.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So no mail. Yeah, like even the email there's been,
Yeah, fairly quiet.
you did email some with the landowner, or the builder at Lancaster Road.
Yep.
About the denial that we issued last.
Yep, so we did get a response today. So he did email back in, so I called and talked to him today. And he just kind of gave me reasoning why it wasn't built according to the approved plan. And so, let's see. So
DEP responded today, or?
Oh, no, so
okay.
Scott.
This
Yep.
is, yeah.
Yep, so this is the builder responding to 61 Lancaster Road. So, as we discussed, I'm in agreement with the board's findings with the exception of the retaining wall issue. After purchasing the land from the previous owner, we did some test holes and found that the water table would not allow for a full 8-foot basement. We therefore changed the design of the house from a garage on grade to a garage under. The change of the house plan eliminated the need for a super elevated driveway. The retaining wall was still constructed to retain the septic, although the location of the retaining wall has now shifted away from the wetlands to allow the passage of the driveway at the existing grade. So, let's see, I didn't put the photos in. Okay, so the retaining wall is now on this side of the driveway,
I see.
away from the wetlands due to the grade change. So this is a lot less steep than it would have been with the original design.
That's actually better,
Yeah.
Yep. So,
because then you can get sheet flow probably off the driveway,
Which is not
asphalt
great,
isn't
right?
great anyway, but at least
Yeah.
it's sheet flow, so it's not gonna be.
So we just discussed doing additional like stone swale along the whole edge
Okay.
that way.
Yep.
So this is the new house being built?
Yeah, that has been built.
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, has been.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. So they requested a COC last meeting, and we denied it based on it not being stabilized, the site. But he also said for the wood chip area, let me know if it's acceptable to install gravel in that area. The homeowner's intent is to have
It's
near
all what, Maddie?
Gravel.
gravel.
Okay.
Yep.
So like all through here?
Yeah, they want gravel as like additional parking. So they were wondering if the commission would be agreeable to that.
I think,
How far?
right, for me personally, I don't think all of that space, but I think we could probably come to some sort of compromise.
Mhm.
Like, if it's just additional parking, then maybe only like 8 feet in and not all the way
Yeah.
up to the edge of the wetlands.
Yeah.
Anybody else
We
have
were
any
talking
other?
about doing like a swale through here anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, that almost just make the swale a little wider.
Right, right, but not as deep or maybe as long,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you could do the subgrade as like a channel to get water like down the driveway, and then have the gravel actually be level for parking.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So like riprap, you're talking about something
Probably rip
bigger.
wrap and then, something bigger.
Deeper.
Yeah, a little deeper. It's like, probably a foot of riprap or something like that, or maybe a foot and a half of riprap in a channel down there to get water, because we're trying to get it to run out, right?
Well, we're trying to get it really to,
Perk.
yeah, to do what it used to do before it was all paved and
Yeah,
built over.
yeah. Well, that would give it some spot to chill out.
Exactly.
And do that, and then
Right.
you just do, probably some landscape fabric and then 3/4 on top of that.
Could you put the plan up, Matty, please? So where is that picture taken, that photo?
So essentially, we were standing here, kind of looking down this way.
Yeah.
So the boulder retaining wall that we had requested in the original plan is here, but that is now shifted and is on this edge of the driveway.
Have they
Yeah.
provided an accurate as-built?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Which we're gonna require.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're looking to kind of create this area into parking / gravel.
Yeah, including the elevation. I mean, if the driveway is not built to that plan,
Yep.
I would like an accurate
Yep.
as-built.
Are the wattles still on site? It's-
Yep. So the wattles and the
And the
silt
silt.
fence is still on site.
Yep.
Okay. So technically, like, where's the cutoff for our jurisdiction on this in terms of
Well,
I mean,
see that line that says 100-foot buffer?
that?
Yep,
Okay. All right, so it's all within the 100-foot
Yeah.
buffer.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
I was looking at the 25-foot.
right, that's our no touch.
So he
yeah.
submitted a plan that required retaining walls and everything else and built it out. And it's not according to plan, the retaining wall was moved.
mhm.
And so, would we have approved this plan initially?
The way that it's now built?
Yeah.
Probably. It's less steep and the retaining wall is on the other side. What we still would not have approved of was using wood chips as a stabilizer.
Okay.
So that's kind of what we're down to.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's make them toe the mark.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. So I'm fine if you and I want to go out there and we'll kind of delineate what
Yep.
they need for gravel and then how they're going to restore the rest of the wood chip area.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I will reach out to Scott, set up a visit.
Yeah.
And I'll discuss it in
Yep.
person. Figure
Yep.
out, see it actually in person.
Do they have a garage or no?
Yep. So they do have a garage, but it's
Right.
yeah.
2 cars.
Yeah.
And then the driveway's small enough, they don't really have room for any other parking.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
They
guess
turn around,
yeah.
that's about it.
Did they shift it? Is this the original location of where the house was supposed to be? Then they shifted it more?
That could be.
Well, that says existing 3-bedroom house. If it was, did they knock that down?
There
No.
wasn't, it was
Yeah.
a raw lot. I know,
That doesn't make any sense. All right, whatever.
correct. Okay, yeah, so they're gonna have to get that cleaned up.
Yep.
And we'll talk to them. And that was it, right? Like, they agreed that they're not going to pull up the silt fence and have all the gravel drop down
Yep.
into the stream. And that they're gonna seed all of the bare areas that
Yep.
are not seeded and, okay,
This is a good time of year to seed.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
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 Get on that soon later.
All right, so yeah, so see if you can set something up.
Okay.
And anybody else, we'll let you know when the meeting is and if you can make it. Mhm.
It's the first Wednesday of next month, right?
No, we actually don't have a meeting the first Wednesday of next month,
Okay.
because I'll be in Yellowstone.
So when did you refer to, you let us know when the next meeting is?
So, no, when the meeting with the builder
Oh,
on
excuse
site.
me, I
Yep,
got it.
Yep, when the site meeting.
Yep.
All right, so anything else?
And the other thing was,
Right.
we received, so up at Maplewood, DEP has issued a return to compliance letter from the enforcement order last year, because they had this kind of very similar issues to Highland Ridge when we get all that rain last year. So they had a lot of sediment, breach. And so it took them a little while to get back into compliance, but they are back into compliance now. And I saw that they had an approval for more soil to
Oh,
be
did
brought
they?
up.
I
Yep.
missed that. Yeah, so the soil importation has begun again.
Well,
Yep.
I walked the site the other day, talked to Tamara, and a couple of things. It looks pretty stable. It's all, the grass is coming up the old site, and they're gonna haul in new, which is up above, and I think I'm confident that it won't wash out anymore. The only thing that came up is talking to her, we apparently pay an independent engineering firm $10,000-15,000 a year to double check DEP's work. They look at every load that comes in, and apparently our firm has found some discrepancies and called back, DEP, they checked the loads and it weren't as accurate as DEP. But anyway, I got to thinking, Tamara told me we paid $30,000 a year. Well, looking into it, I was just talking to Kristen, and it isn't. It's about $10,000. But it just seems to me that if DEP is on top of this thing and basically overseeing it, I'm just wondering how much money we, town, should be spending for an additional firm to do it. But when they find a discrepancy, define a discrepancy. Did they find a beer bottle in it or something that DEP didn't?
No,
Or
they
is it a
find,
serious
it's
issue?
chemicals. So
Huh?
a lot of the stuff that they bring in is either from commercial foundations being built,
Yep,
being dug.
yep.
Street sweeping, I know, which, you can't tell me street
Right.
sweepings
Yeah.
aren't contaminated.
So where does
Those-
it come from?
All
Like,
over.
all over.
Hmm.
Yeah. No specific.
as opposed, let's face it, that, as opposed to building a paddock for horses, it's become, must be they gotta get a tipping fee for that, for a commercial venture in there. But nevertheless, that's beside
Right.
the point. But, so we're stuck with that. But anyway,
part
I
of the
looked at
lawsuit,
it,
I
looked into
believe.
it, and apparently
Yeah.
the selectmen have approved that we continue to go with Sampson or Weston Sampson, whatever it is, for the engineering firm, but then $12,000 a year to double check DEP. So that's where it is. And as I looked at it, I'm satisfied
Did
that it's
she-
stable and stuff is growing and it looks good.
Did she give any indication as to how much more they need?
No, only that as opposed to big loads coming in, big jobs, there's gonna be a lot of scattered little stuff coming in from now on. It'll no longer be any big dig or anything like that.
So do you take that to mean that the big fill stuff is done and they'll be kind of fine tuning?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's a good question. I wonder, we should well, I don't know what good it would do if the air DEP's on top of it. How many cubic yards are we gonna bring in the future? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. More just curious. That's
Yeah.
the biggest question we get
Yeah.
asked
Yeah.
all the time is when is it going to be done?
All right.
So,
And unfortunately, Maplewood is a dump site, so you have to test.
right.
It is, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So anyway,
All right.
check that off.
Well,
As far as I'm concerned.
Thanks for going up.
Took enough time.
Yep. Highland Ridge, new monitoring report came out today. I saw Maddie forwarded it to everybody. And it looks good and stable. The only thing is the wood chips, and even that does appear to be growing sparsely, but as
Sorry,
the
I
chips
didn't
break down.
It's okay. Well, what's your experience, how long could this last? Do you, or, you know, you know a lot more about this than I do. What would you say? Well, I mean,
What, I mean, how much can what last?
the wood chips on that.
To stabilize
Is
it?
3 years, 5 years?
Did we, what was the original plan? Were they supposed to seed it? I
Yeah.
can't
Yes,
recall the whole, well, they should seed it.
they are
then.
supposed to stabilize it, yes.
Well, this is the time of year to stabilize it. So if there's wood chips on there, should we be saying, let's get it stabilized and planted? Or
So do we issue another enforcement order?
I wonder what Pat's view on it is.
Yeah, it might be worth just, you know, sending an email, hey, this is a constant issue reported by Patrick that this hasn't been fully stabilized. What's your plan? Are you gonna,
Okay.
Well, then
Are you
I
gonna
think
plant
I
anything,
think
or
we
you
should,
gonna-
then, an enforcement order. This is the time
Yeah.
of year to be planting.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
get it done, I mean,
So-
get it off our agenda.
AJ was even saying that there's some stuff that'll take in wood chips.
Yeah.
So if you, I mean, it might be as simple as buying, you know, a couple bags of seed and just having some people go out there and huck it onto the ground.
Right.
And then next spring, as long as it comes up, you're good to go.
Well, and I don't know whether the people working, you know, we went to the court, they went to the courthouse yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, for the case, you know, for the unpaid HOA. And I don't know whether we could link that, whether we'd want to do that. I think the enforcement order makes a lot of sense personally. Because I
Right.
just can't see how that's a long-term solution.
Right, well, it will biodegrade eventually and become soil.
Right.
Which
But it
will
needs
then,
something.
sure,
Right,
yes,
that's-
exactly, but that's not what their
Has it
job
washed
is
out?
supposed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did it wash out during these heavy storms that we've had?
Well, there's definitely washout. I mean, I went over there just a couple
Yeah.
days ago. I mean, it has eroded. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
You know,
Huh.
And it really, but I think it
It
would.
might just be not visible in the photo.
I mean, really, a couple guys probably for 3 or 4 hours maybe could, I
Right.
don't know, loosen it up enough or make it so you can put the seed down
Plant,
as you
right.
suggested. Or hydro seed, though, again,
Yeah.
the hydro seeding is.
Hydro
doesn't
seeding's
seem to
not
work.
gonna
I don't
catch
think
with
that
that.
works. But at any rate, I
Yeah.
think that, I mean, I think we would all really support that and,
Yeah, so we'll start with an email
Yep.
to them. We'll
Yep.
start,
yeah, we'll get Matt Morrow back in the loop too. Just
yep, we'll start
if we can get
start
that.
that way, and if we get no response, then we'll take the next steps.
They put it in there, they built it, they should be responsible for making sure that it lasts, you know, and
Yep.
isn't a problem. Sure.
100%.
but of course, compared to this time a year ago, you know, we feel like we're living the dream.
Well,
But,
that's-
But anyway,
Yeah.
I think that's a good
yeah.
step forward. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, are we past? Did you book it for 7:15? You
Yeah.
did. I apologize. Come on up.
All right. My name is Dan Wolf. I'm with David Ross Associates, and this is the first in-person meeting I've done in a couple of years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, welcome, and make
Lot
sure you
of
have
the-
some candy.
A lot of the boards I go to are still doing Zoom, so this is interesting. Anyway, working
It's like
at-
riding a bike.
Yeah, working at 36 West Street. It's an existing four-bedroom home that has a failing septic system, and we're looking to upgrade the system with a new system way out in here. Why don't I hold this up a little bit? This is West Street here, and across the street is a wetland, which you just had a good map up there, as well as a perennial stream off in the distance. So again, this is across the other side. No, Maddie, correct?
Yep.
We're talking about the wetland system to the right there, right? And our house is on the left side of the road right there.
Okay, why can't I get this? Where is that? Now, I'm looking at that now. Let me see, West Street to Long Street.
Right, so it's, do you remember that little street?
St. Joseph Church is up at the top there.
Okay,
Right.
okay, got it,
Yep.
got it, got it.
All right.
Yep.
And so with all of the work being done across the street here, we've got an excellent buffer of the road itself. And really, the only work that's being done within the buffer zone of the wetland is the installation of part of the septic tank and the pump chamber. And the reason that it has to be there is to accommodate gravity coming out of the house, the existing sewer line exiting the house. So there's a little cover material being put over it. We are also, if this is the perennial stream here, we've got the first 100 feet of riverfront zone, and then what they call the outer riparian zone here. So we're in that zone as well. But all this activity is being buffered and protected by a row of hay bales brought down to kind of circle the area, determine, and it'll demarcate the limit of work area. But other than that, all of the other work is out of the buffer zone, out of the riverfront zone. So it's just a small little bit of work there in the buffer zone.
We're-
So you're looking for DOA?
Yes. Determination of applicability.
Plus the street buffers them from the wetlands, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's a
Um,
culvert in there
This
or
is pretty,
something.
No,
Right,
there's
so-
no
pretty
culvert.
simple.
Right,
I
so, and where's the driveway for the house?
The
Just-
driveway comes in over here,
Okay.
and we showed it, it circles around the back of the property, but it's way over here.
Okay. And there's the 100-foot.
So there's that.
Right.
So-
Yep.
So I highlighted the
Oh,
wetland
yeah.
issues in green and highlighted the riverfront zone in blue. So you could see all the different
Okay.
stages.
Anybody have any further questions?
This was the Larson property at one time?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
correct.
Fine.
So that, what's the pink highlighted line?
That's the erosion control.
Oh, okay, all right, gotcha.
And all work is on my side of that line.
Right.
Yep, understood.
And the erosion control is wattles and silt fence?
Yes.
Excellent.
Just want to make sure the wattles are the.
Right, so we do ask that you use the jute, the wattles with the jute instead of the plastic?
Right, and I think that's
Netting?
one of the notes that's down below
Is it?
is plastic not to be used.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent. Okay. So you are looking for a negative determination, correct?
So moved.
Second.
Any other comments? Hearing none, I will ask you to vote. All those in favor of issuing a negative determination of applicability, say aye.
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 All those opposed? All right. So we're, when the erosion controls are in, before any digging happens, just give us a shout, and so we can come out and inspect the erosion controls.
Sure.
And other than that,
If you hang out for a few seconds, we can get you the DOA. And
Right, great.
I just have a quick question.
Yes.
Is the property owner Berlin Excavating Corporation, or is it Peter Larson?
It's Peter Larson.
Okay, perfect.
because that's who you filled it out for.
Yep. Of course, like Mass Mapper was down, it wouldn't give me parcel information, so I went through the deeds to see who owned it.
Oh, man.
Good times.
Yep. Nope, and I guess you gotta check off negative determination on
Okay.
the other side, or the other forms.
Here, I'll let you start signing that.
And Maddie, thank you for all your
Issue
help.
Oh, no problem.
determination.
Responding to emails was great. Sometimes I wait
Oh, yeah.
a week before I get a
Oh, no.
response, so thank you very much.
Yeah, not a
Negative
problem.
determination.
And did you see the ad that was posted?
I
Or
did not, so do you
need
have a
a
copy
cup?
of that? That would be great.
That one.
I'll even show you the bill.
Perfect.
Page 2 is the ad itself.
Okay. And do you mind if we keep this for?
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
Maddie, you think number 3?
Yeah, I think number 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's a -3.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, and you added the inspection somewhere?
I did not, but.
All right, you'll call us, right?
Yeah. That's my notes.
Awesome. You can use it, it's terrible.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Excellent.
Useless signature. but job done.
All right, Maddie will make some copies and give you the original.
All right, great.
Awesome,
Should I
thank.
follow her out the
Sure,
door?
if you like.
All right, thank you very
You
much.
sure you don't want something?
No,
Tootsie
no,
Roll?
No, all set.
All
Thank you.
right.
Have a good night.
You too.
I'm trying to figure out how
What do you want? There you go. All right. So that
I
was
thought somebody
that.
else's.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't had Butterfingers in a long time.
You bought around Halloween candy then.
Oh, no, that was probably the
Right?
last time I had some. We buy so much.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I live on Sawyer Hill,
Yeah.
like in the
And that's where everyone
village.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I have to buy like 3 or 4 bags every year.
I will wait until after the
Like big
meeting
bags.
so that I don't have to talk with
We have like
Tootsie Roll in my
250.
mouth.
Huh?
BJ ones.
I don't know about that big, but yeah, no, good size, for sure. We get like 200, 250 kids sometimes. It's crazy.
All right.
Pardon my age.
Yeah. All right. CSX.
CXX. All right. Well, earlier this week, Carolyn and I got an email from Jim McCook and Dan Stimson about railroad ties slumping into Northbrook. So,
Through
good.
the SVT property.
Yep. So as you can see, they have fallen into Northbrook and now leaching whatever chemicals are in them.
Oh, got it.
All right, meeting's over.
Yep.
No, the screen shows it better in the dark.
Yeah, right.
You guys see okay? I make a lousy window.
Let's see if I can. fix them.
Is this where the tall stack is?
No, so this is a little bit further down. So where we met, so essentially where the derailment was down here. So
Straight down.
yeah, right down from where the derailment was.
That's why he didn't want me walking down there.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, because I started, and he's like, you can't walk down there.
Right, well, we can't,
I know, I didn't know
Not walk
that.
on the tracks, yeah.
You
Yes,
can
he gave us
actually
a
be
whole.
arrested for that.
Really?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
Louise?
either.
You can be arrested for walking on the tracks.
Let them try.
Yeah. Then maybe they'll come to town.
Go ahead. So I decided to issue an enforcement order on them to clean up the railroad ties. So I reached out to Jonathan yesterday, and he was asking if he needed any paperwork to work under. So I was like, well, I'll issue an enforcement order to work under to get these cleaned up immediately. And I also requested that a wetland scientist oversee it and, you know, report any issues that have come of, you know, these ties falling into the water. But yeah, they estimate about 30 to 40 ties kind of just
Wow.
falling down the banks.
Wow, yeah, the first picture, so when Jim first got in touch with us, I think he sent this picture.
Yep.
And I didn't realize at
Yeah,
first that there
exactly.
were so many.
Yep.
And But we definitely saw that there were railroad ties when we went to look at the derailment, but those were on the other side.
Yep.
Those look new.
Yeah, they do look new, so that's strange
That's
too.
their
I was
stock.
thinking that, yeah.
They've been stocking up a bunch of new ones though, further down the track. The
Well,
other
yeah,
one,
there's that
noticed.
whole big
Yeah,
wall.
That wall, I think,
Yes.
was mostly the old ones, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Are
It
those
might
new?
be,
Yeah, they looked old when I drove by, but I didn't look too close.
right? But they definitely did a bunch of replacement of ties. I remember when we went out there last year with the derailment and you looked down towards Clinton, it was like, wah, wah, wah. And it's straight as an arrow now. So that's at least good. Unfortunately, this is a result of them working in the area.
It's actually worse that they're new though, because it means they've got all kind of.
Fresh chemicals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Maddie, are they picking them up?
Yeah, so when I reached out to Jonathan, he said he would get somebody on it immediately,
I'm sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
so.
It's good to have a contact.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when we walked across, it's to the right?
Yeah,
Where?
so if you were, when we walked down the hill, if you, to the left, down that way of the tracks.
So you can't see that from the road.
No.
No.
It's actually closer to where, remember years ago, they replaced that culvert?
Yeah,
It's closer to there.
just right by 40 Ks.
Yeah.
just below,
Yeah, essentially this is 40 Ks right here.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and see where the stream goes under the blue line?
All right.
That's where the culvert replacement happened. So it's all right along in there.
So I don't know if you guys want to vote to ratify the enforcement order I issued.
Let's do it. Make a motion to support?
Ratify?
To ratify
Yeah.
the enforcement order that Maddie issued to CSX for them to clean up the railroad ties.
So,
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do you want us to sign that?
Sure. So I did already send a copy off to New York.
Certified.
But
Do you need to be reimbursed for that?
it's okay. So bad at keeping receipts, so.
Go this way this time.
Sure. I'll just back that way.
There we go. So that's kind of both CSX things on the agenda, right?
Yep.
Yeah. While we're signing 100 River Road West, we don't really have anything new
No.
about that. All right. That. We're gonna skip the CR for the moment. Powder House Hill signage. CPA has been working on putting together signage for the projects that have been funded by the CPA. They will be permanent signs, and there's been some discussion about, we've settled on a design, we've settled on who we're gonna have do them. There's been some discussion about how big, so I made up some cardboard standard sizes, and Wayne and I drove around town the other night and held pieces of cardboard at all kinds of places. And most of the places seem like a 2 foot by 3 foot sign will be appropriate. But I personally felt that that was too big to put in a neighborhood. So we're looking at kind of a standard political sign size, 18 by 24, I think it is, for Powder House Hill. So it'll go on Carter Street on the easement.
marking the trails or something?
Marking that CPA helped purchase that land, and
Okay.
yeah. So we wanted it to be big enough to be seen, but not so big that we're putting up a billboard in someone's neighborhood. So we're still talking with the property owner, we're going to talk with the property owner, we haven't yet. But I just wanted kind of input from you guys to see if anybody felt differently.
So they'll all be consistent, so the same sign for the other areas would be the exact same, it's the same.
Yeah, it might, I don't think it's gonna say like this project. It'll say Powder House Hill, purchased.
For that. But the
and
size would be the same?
for all the other stuff,
Okay.
for the fence at the garden. I hadn't really ever walked around down there. That fence is huge. It is.
Oh, the community
At the community garden. I'm blown away by how big it is.
That's why it costs what it costs.
That's why it costs what it costs, but that's why it costs what it costs.
Right.
Yeah.
Deer can jump really high.
Yeah, it's a pretty tall fence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we went to the tennis courts, and we went to, that's actually the other thing I want to talk about. We went up to Lyman Road. So we'll probably put something at Lyman Road in that area that's going to become parking. So we'll put a sign there. We may also put something on Linden Street, but I also don't want to just plant a sign in the middle of the woods either. So, like that. So, all right, I will report back that you guys are in favor of that. Did you? Probably not. Let me rephrase that. We should go up to Lyman Road and take a look at what needs to happen to make that a true parking area.
Yep.
And then we should see if that qualifies for CPA funds. And if it does, we should fill out an application and get that going.
Yep. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's making the trails more accessible, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's fine lines with CPA, so we just need to make sure.
Is it inadequate now?
Yeah. Is that what?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, recently.
the vegetation is pretty heavy, and we want to just delineate it a little better. I want to either put gravel in there or something to just neaten it up.
Right now, the highway department's
that where
using
the
it as
school
a
bus turn
materials
on?
depot for culvert replacement. So there's a
Oh,
bunch of
really?
materials up there. Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just like
Yeah.
corrugated pipe and like a,
It's next week that they're scheduled.
Yeah,
So
they're-
if you can
Oh.
delay
There you
first
go.
week of September.
Are you
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about
I don't
the
think it would slow us
parking lot
down
where the
anyway,
school
honestly. We
bus
could work
turns
around it, but
around?
yeah.
No.
Just keep in
I'm
mind,
talking about
Lyman Road
what
is a
used
rough
to be the
neighborhood.
driveway for the house.
Oh, right.
Up at that end of Lyman.
Oh, okay.
I know where you
The
live.
driveway.
One-
When there was a house there.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so, but we should, we had a CPA meeting last night and kind of talking about like the deadlines for applications and everything. And
Yeah.
if we're going to do it for funding at the annual town meeting in the spring, we have to have the application into CPA by like November,
Okay.
so that they can vet it, so that it can be then sent to be put on the warrant in February.
Okay.
So we're like, all of a sudden it's like, oh,
Oh.
we should probably get going on this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
right.
almost into the months that end in er.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the months. All right, and any other trail maintenance?
No, I was actually going to bring that up, so.
Okay.
So we're on the same page. Walter and I are going to be working on replacing a broken bridge at Brewer Brook this coming weekend, at least getting started on it. We'll see how far we get with that. So, yeah,
Awesome.
he was able to, Walter was able to get materials donated from Lowe's.
I saw that
So that's
email.
pretty helpful.
Yeah, good job. I also saw that you contacted DCR. Good job again.
Want me to talk about that?
Okay.
Yeah, I these two dam sites that we have, pretty heavily used. I mean, they're really regional recreation sites for non-motorized natural recreation. And, I mean, I almost envision them as mini state parks. But anyway, I contacted DEM and asked them if they could, suggested to them strongly, well, not DEM, our state rep and state senator is what I contacted, and asked them to get behind an effort to get after DEM to improve the trails and improve both of those areas for hiking and bird watching and, natural sports. And got a positive response from the rep, that I haven't heard from Senator Kennedy yet, but I'm sure I will, and see if we can get something going there and clean those areas up, because there's some pretty rough areas. Down off Linden Street, where you go in by the railroad track, they built a pretty extravagant, nice bridge 4 or 5 years ago, but getting in there is just a mud hole. So, they could clean that up and get that and just straighten things up a little bit. And there's, Ethan said he and I are gonna repair a bridge on the Brewer Brook site. We'll do that. But there's a lot of trail maintenance and other stuff that could be done, and they should be mowing the dam a little bit better. You get off Pleasant Street and go up there, and you can figure out where the trail is, but it could be a much better trail, and we shouldn't have to do that. But anyway, if the legislators get behind it, then I contacted former Bob Darren, former Secretary of Environmental Affairs, and he's going to push a little bit on that too, see if we can get those cleaned up. And I also mentioned the aqueduct, which in my over 75 years of walking it and hiking it, it's the worst condition I've ever seen it. And so I mentioned that too, and incidentally driving here today, I noticed they're mowing along the aqueduct, so they clean that up a little bit. But it's pretty bad. There's trees in there that are 6 inches diameter, and I can't believe the root system isn't going to impact the
Sure.
aqueduct sooner or later. So anyway, if we can get those two areas developed into kind of recreational areas, and in the spirit of full disclosure, my main motive is get them out of the natural woodlands in my hunting area and get them on recreation. No, I mean, I like to protect land for nature and wildlife, and it's just getting over. So develop these 2 state-owned properties, and they can provide all the hiking and recreation and biking and bird watching and the excellent areas that there is, and they should be developed.
Yeah, when they proposed to open that to the public,
Yeah.
they wanted the town to maintain the aqueduct in Berlin, and we turned it down. in one of
Yeah,
our
well, we
meetings.
should, they should maintain it. It's
Right.
state
Mhm.
affairs, and
Right.
it's become they put it there, and it's become a magnet for bringing people in from out of town. I would venture a wild guess that 80% of the users of those properties are from out of town. Easily.
I would be shocked if that was the case.
Huh?
I'd be shocked if that was the case,
Mm.
honestly.
Yeah, a
But-
lot of
I
dog
wouldn't.
walkers,
Huh?
a lot of dog walkers use it.
Especially Lester Ross.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
I know a lot of local people walk their dogs there.
Well, a lot of,
Because
I know on
all the
Pins-
people from out of town go to Gates Pond. And
on
so the
Business
local
Street-
people go to.
Well, I don't know, it'd be interesting to take I think people come from over north, or off Lyman Road, up in that parking area, and off the Linden
Northborough
Street
people do
parking
go
area.
there,
Say
yeah.
that again?
Northborough people do go there.
Yeah, they do,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we also share Pisgah with them. I mean, and the Northborough. I know that there's a lot of people that are willing to help us out with trail work in Northborough, and I've helped them out too. It's another small town.
Yep.
Not as small as us,
Been
but
doing it for years.
huh?
You're right.
All right. Any other trail maintenance news?
Will the commission be sending a formal letter of thank you and appreciation to Lowe's? Wouldn't that look lovely in a nice little frame?
It certainly would.
That's right, of course, as we did with Cabela's several years ago when
Yeah.
they bought all of the stuff. We'll be doing that all up. And I'm trying to get some actually trying to get a photograph. I get a lot of comments on River Road, but Henry Pacific goes down here and mows it and keeps it maintained, and he won't let me get a picture of it. And I want to put it on Facebook, but I'm going to get some names and address to get to the Board of Selectmen, hoping the Selectmen will thank citizens for what they donate to the town. So we'll certainly get a letter to Lowe's. I've
Do you-
been waiting to, as soon as Ethan and I finish up, get photographs of it. We'll do like we did. In fact, I'll copy you, Peg, on what we did for Cabela's. It was pretty good.
Might want to send a note to the item too, little publicity never hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that if we get that into a paper, that's a win for them. You know?
Yeah.
If you want to write it and send it to me, I'll get it to Jan, and she'll publish it electronically and in the paper.
Yep.
Okay,
It's a
great.
win-win.
Awesome. Have you guys received the materials yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walter and a couple of his buddies dropped it off
Nice.
over the weekend, and
Awesome.
he already hiked
Who's
it
going to
most of
write
it
the
down.
letter?
I can write the piece for the item if you want to write the letter, or I can write both. I mean, you've already done a ton of work.
Well, I dealt with Al, the donator down there. He's the one that I dealt with and everything. I'll
Okay.
write up a thank you to him.
Okay, all right. I'll
Awesome.
write up the piece for the
Yep.
item, unless
If
you
you-
want to just.
I'll
modify
copy
that.
Peg on the
Can
letter.
you do both? Send them both.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, awesome. Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you for all of your efforts, and keeping on with it. I'm not sending a letter. That's what you got.
It would have been, we'll take care of it. It'll be done.
Yeah, no, I.
Yeah.
Okay. What you got for the forest stewardship plan?
I don't have anything. Did you hear anything from
I've
Gary?
got two, Gary said he would send a letter to, here, he never did. I asked him to send it to me. I left 2 messages. I'm gonna call him again. I call him about every other day. And I'll get on, he's either gonna shape up or we'll get another forester with the New England Forestry Foundation to come in and do the plan. But, I get tired. It's been 3-4 weeks now.
Yeah.
Is he
It's a little-
responding or is he just ghosting?
I don't know whether he's sleeping on the job or what.
So he's not responding. Okay.
Right.
I called him, I
Right.
talked to him on the phone, yeah, I'll send you something. He never did.
Yeah, that's kind of always been our experience with him. He's
Has-
kind of
has
hot
it-
and cold. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll like be like rah-rah, and he'll do a whole bunch
Yeah.
of stuff, and then he'll just disappear.
You know what, I'll call New England Forest Foundations and find out, because there was another forester involved before, pretty good guy, so I'll talk to them and tell them that I'm waiting to hear from somebody. He claimed
Okay.
he was overloaded anyway, and he'd get back, but if he's
Right,
that
and I'm sure
overloaded,
that's
let's
what
get
it
someone
is.
else.
Right, yeah, exactly. If he's too busy,
Sure. He should let us know.
he should let us know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, did anybody have an opportunity or take the opportunity to go over the Carter Street conservation restriction?
Yes.
You did. Good girl.
Did it
You
this
win
morning.
a Tootsie Roll.
Right?
Yeah, no, I did.
Okay, did anybody else?
No.
No. I know, sorry. You're the only one who did your homework. Did you find anything that you would like to change?
No, I know somebody mentioned taking out the horseback riding, but I thought, can we just leave that in there just in case? Because it's just a passive thing, right?
Right.
There's other stuff in there, so I was hoping we could just leave that. Okay. And then there was a question, I think, on, I don't think it was just a filler where it talks about the purpose or something. It was,
Tends to be towards
where it was
the
saying like the
beginning.
reasons why, and I don't know if that was official in there or just because it talked about a linkage to I think the rail trail or something like that. That verbiage you know what I'm talking about. It was on the first page.
Right, so to ensure the premises will remain in perpetuity in its natural scenic or open condition, and to prevent any use or change that would materially impair the conservation values as defined below. Yeah, I didn't bring the clean copy, unfortunately, which I should have.
That's okay. I think
right,
it was
but-
just like faded out. I don't think it was. It was just like a thing they had as a default in there.
Oh, kind of the grayed out.
Yeah, I think it was grayed out when
Right.
I was reading it. So I just questioned.
Okay.
That.
Question whether it should be there,
Or-
whether it shouldn't be.
I didn't know if it made sense. I think it was just like something that was in there. But if it does make sense, then fine.
Okay.
It just sounded good, whatever that.
Okay.
And I was like, okay,
You're like,
this is
yeah,
purpose. This
yeah,
is
that
really
works.
great. Yay. And then I wasn't sure if it was official or not.
Okay.
But other than that,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the clean copy because this is hard. All right. And I also should look on the clean copy if the areas that you highlighted for note are still highlighted. Yes, thank you to Miss Peg. I went to do it and I'm like, I tried to play around a little. I'm like, I don't remember how to do this. Like 2 text messages later, she had me in the right place. So thank you.
So you'll send the clean copy?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did last week,
Oh,
I think.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to look.
Yeah, look for it.
I have some problems with my internet. Yeah.
Well, if you can't find it, let me know and I'll resend it.
Okay.
All right. All right. So our next meeting is not the first week. It is the third week. 17th, for some reason, sticks out.
18th.
18th.
Yeah.
Okay. So if everybody could try to do that by the 18th, take a look at it. Myself included. I have a couple of long flights, so I'll be able to. That's my plane work.
I'll help you fall asleep on the plane.
Right? Oh, there's nothing worse than reading legalese.
It's so hard because the legal mumbo jumbo stuff, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like, am I
What-
still
what-
reading the same sentence?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they get paid by the word
It's
that they
ridiculous.
put in there because it's very verbose.
I think there's
Yes.
some kind of
I'm like, get to the
multiplier if you
nitty-gritty.
keep it all in the same sentence too. Like the more words you have in one sentence, they get a little extra.
Right?
You know, so they have these
Oh, it's
paragraph sentences.
yep. It's why I can't read it on a screen.
Yeah, I think
Because
that's why
I'll
I'm
like
having a
make
hard time.
notes and I'll I'll even follow along with my pencil. I'm like, okay, same sentence, still the same sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I remember reading something and said, well, where was that? I had to go back and say, because I read something else, and I said, wait a minute, where did I read this other thing? And I couldn't find it. And it's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yep.
Anyway.
And then if maybe like a week before the next meeting, if we could send out a
Yep.
reminder email that there is actually homework.
Yep.
That would be great.
Yeah, because I would like to,
In other words, nagus.
Yep.
yeah.
Sounds good. I
Yep.
can do that.
Awesome.
Does it count as nagging if we ask her to do it?
I don't know.
It's just a friendly reminder at
Yeah.
that point.
Right. All right, well, that's all that's on the agenda. Do you have anything else?
Couple of things. On the community outreach, I mean, I just think this area is so important. We do a lot of good things, a lot of things going on in town. I'm not sure enough people are specifically aware of what's going on, you know. But one thing I want to know about is how committed are we as a commission, and is anybody else interested in the garden at Pleasant Street and any other place you may want one? I look at that, and we've got a lot of effort into it and substantial funding, both from here and from volunteers and donations. And I would like, I'm not a gardener, okay? I can do the work and understand it, but you know, you ride by it, if you're down there looking at it, it's beautiful, you know, the petunias and everything else, but when you ride by it, it's down over the hill, and it just doesn't
Right, you don't
show.
really see it.
As opposed you know, Jane's is right in your face, you come up Pleasant Street. Although when you come up Pleasant Street, you know, the hydrangeas and the black-eyed Susans and stuff, it starts to look a little colorful, but I'd like to get, if I can get Judy Clark, or I forget her name, on Barnes Hill, or some others, to just do a little consulting and find out what we can do to get something up a little higher, a little more colorful, a little more, it'd be annuals. The perennials are in there, there's some great perennials in there, and I think over a year or two, you know, the black-eyed Susans and other stuff are going to start to take hold and look better. But I don't know whether we need, you know, something, I don't know whether foxgloves or some sunflowers to the left. I don't want to block off the view of the meadow, because that's half of the beauty of the area there. In fact, I've been thinking of pruning that hickory tree a little bit so you can see down in there a little bit better. But are we really interested in wanting to do that? Does anybody else here know? Everybody here knows more about it than I do, gardening. But, you know, to
Right, I
just
thought.
get there some evening and just look at it and talk about it. And in addition to that, that whole area, when you go down in there and you walk along the right side, there's a couple of beautiful, I told you that the last time, black walnuts, and I've cleared around those. And there's another black walnut just as you get off the street, but that can be made much more attractive. And you get down through there, and there's a dilapidated culvert crossing an intermittent stream. It's almost perennial, but it's intermittent. Then that goes off to Brewer Brook, which could use a bridge over it, need repairing. But anyway, I just would like others to have some input and talk about it and decide whether we want to do it or not.
I have an idea, because I feel like a lot of people don't know that that area is accessible. So if we could do like a trellis or something to show like a gateway to access it, would be like a eye focus, and kind of dress that up and make it more inviting, like going
More
in.
inviting, that, absolutely, that's
Yeah.
the thing we should do.
I think that
Yeah.
would be nice, because right now, I mean, you go by, I'm glad the bench is back, because I wonder what happened to the bench.
Yeah.
It's back. But it doesn't, you just don't think it's something to
Right.
go to. You don't
Yeah.
think of it that way.
You think of the effort and the funds that we put into it.
Yeah, I
What-
know, but I'm
what's
just thinking that would
there,
be
you know?
nice, because it's that might help. That's all that would pop.
Yep.
Would be
Yeah.
what you're looking
Well,
for.
that's the type of idea we need to talk about and have something, and we, you know, take the time at this meetings, our regular scheduled meetings. Not sure is the best place, whatever you think, Madam Chairperson, but maybe we could get a group of us together and get on and do some thinking about it, planning.
Would we ever think about putting some, like, picnic tables or something where
Well,
people,
this is the type of thing we want to talk about.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
you know, so people would just go down there and, you know, use that space?
Yeah, see, I think they realized I wouldn't know that it was accessible. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
look at it and say,
I mean,
And what's her, I forget her name, oh, she's great, Heather, I think, has that summer school there, and the
Yep.
kids there, and they walk down, they cross that path, they go to Brewer Brook, and they love it down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But anyway, it's an area, all right, bottom line is, I think that corner of Pleasant Street is something that deserves our attention more. I mean, we could form a spin-off garden club or something if you want, but, you know, we're all pretty busy, but
Yeah.
we need to address it, you know, specifically.
I mean, I think if we
Decide what we're
want-
gonna do.
that space to get more use, we might want to think about putting in parking.
yeah, that's the
Because,
problem.
you know, most people aren't going to be walking unless they're within, you know, spitting distance.
The park, there could be more parking there very easily, but there's some parking there that isn't being used as it is, so, I mean,
Well,
people
I don't think
don't
it's
know enough
clear
about
that you
it.
can park there,
Mm.
right? If you make it a little more obvious that it's like
Right.
parking, you put up a sign that says, you know, conservation land, or you know, we dedicate it to somebody and call it blah 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 park, something like that.
Exactly right.
And then you
right.
you make it
Yeah.
a space, right? Because right now it's like
Make it a
you
destination.
drive by that, you don't know that it's
Yeah.
public land. It could
Exactly.
be somebody's yard.
Exactly.
Right.
So
What
I
do we
think
do? Chairperson.
Yeah.
I think these are great ideas.
You're a good gardener.
Well,
Let's get together
I
and
used
talk
to be.
about it.
I don't have.
You don't have
you
to do
should
anything.
see my
We
yard.
need your ideas. We want your ideas, not your,
Well, we've always referred to that as Berlin Meadow. Would we want to call it that, or?
I
We
think
certainly
so.
could,
I think
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a nice name.
Yeah,
Right.
we
Berlin
could
Meadows.
get a permanent sign to put up in that kiosk, something that's visible from the road.
That needs, I mean, the signs in there are all bleached out, you
Yeah.
know, they're not attractive at all, you
Yep.
can't even read them, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we could have like dedication or something, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly,
Right.
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
So what do? Do we just do it at our regularly scheduled meetings? Can we get some together some Saturday morning, Sunday afternoon, or just to throw some ideas around for a couple of hours, take some notes and begin to plan it a little bit? I mean, I can do it, but let's all of us do it. you know?
Yeah, yeah, no.
Could we have some photos we could bring to the next meeting, Brett, for example? I mean, so we can all have a better feel of what maybe the potential is, and as well as have
Yeah.
a field trip,
Yeah.
potentially. But I think
Right.
it would be helpful for me, let's put it that way.
Right.
And hopefully for everyone to a degree.
Well, you know, maybe we could all think about it. If we come up with an idea, email it, right?
Yeah.
Make up a list to talk about at the next meeting.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Carolyn, send me everybody's email. I couldn't figure, you sent me, I couldn't figure out how to get all the emails of everybody.
Off. All right. I'll help you out.
I lose.
I'll hook you up there.
Peg's
Yeah.
got her hand up.
I did speak with the head of Link, that's like the PTO for the parents, on your behalf, Walter. I stole your idea. And she said that they would probably be very interested in maybe doing something at the school. So you have to keep it on school property. But I don't know if maybe you could do something at the beginning, like a whiskey barrel, if you could do something over by the courts. But it would be something to involve the parents and the kids there. So it's, obviously not now. So probably late winter, early spring to start to talk about them and get in that. But Link is very much involved in becoming back part of the community for that. So that's an option to
Right.
get into
Good.
Berlin Memorial.
Good.
Awesome.
That would be great.
Because you've
Excellent.
got the, that thing over there, that wooden thing, that people sit in for shade.
The gazebo?
Yeah.
Thank you. So I mean, you could do stuff around there, and if they're going to move,
Right, I mean, yeah, there's so much that's going to be
Correct.
happening down there. I don't think anything permanent should. Like, I love the whiskey barrel ideas, you know, that can be moved around. But with the field irrigation going in and the pavilion going in and,
but I mean, but something by the tennis courts, tennis/pickleball courts, there are people on there all the time.
yep. Yeah, a couple
And
of
it's-
whiskey barrels
Right,
there.
And it's right there, so it's very easy access for the kids to go out, kind of, sort of still be on school property, not really, but close enough.
Right.
Are you familiar with that disc golf thing?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know, I've been helping him out, I took trees down and did all this stuff, and I never realized really how intense it was.
Oh, sure.
I mean, down
And the
there
people
a
who
couple
play
days
are
ago,
like-
taking a dead tree down at work, and
Yeah.
somebody asked me to get out of the way, so he takes out a frisbee, and I expect, boom, like
Yeah.
an arrow.
Yeah.
Holy Christ, it's like a bullet. So they carry backpacks with different size discs and all kinds of things.
Oh, sure.
I had no idea what that was about.
Yeah.
So that's going in there, you know.
I think recreation was putting out feelers to put things to put down there to kind of decorate the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're putting, I got them a couple of farm equipment things, you know, that they want to
Oh,
put those
yes.
around.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yep, yep. Really, it's to create obstacles.
All right,
Is that what
Kind of like
Thought?
mini golf, yeah.
I'll keep this guide, this Pleasant Street thing going and keep an email going if you can help me with the numbers that we're
I
going.
will.
Okay, second thing, Bluebird Trail.
Yes.
I'm serious about this. I think that, I mean, I feel that has enormous potential. If we had 50, 60, I mean, we got 42 birdhouses out.
So-
put out in the past couple of years, and if we can get, let me finish.
I'm
If-
gonna say that you've said this for the last 3 meetings, so what is it that you're looking for us to do?
I'm looking to, first of all, I'm looking at that map. Did you do that, Maddie?
I did
That
not.
plan?
No,
So-
but I can do something like that if
All
you
right,
need it for.
because what I would envision is starting out in this end of town, at least pinpointing every birdhouse. And I talk to people, and they're, this one's got this one, that one's got that one, skip soy, and you put one up. And people who you wouldn't think could give a hoot, Skip Soy, he monitors that bluebird house. He's had 2 litters so far. I'm so excited about it.
That's awesome.
And everybody is. And so my point being, if you could give me a hand, Maddie, we could meet and I could show you on a hand-drawn map where we get it up more systematic.
Yep.
Something that we could put either on our website or something so that
Yep.
people could look it up, the James family is looking at this and so many in the litter and all,
Yep.
You Google a bluebird trail and it's a whole recipe on how to do it. So I think that would be a powerful tool to engage people in the environment of Berlin.
Excellent, yeah.
And the last thing is, and I keep bringing this up, I mean, if you want to know what I'm talking about, Google up Harvard, Google up other towns, Conservation Commission websites, and just see, it's amazing some of it, it's so fascinating, the way they do it. I don't know anything about it, but when I see something, it's impressive. We don't have anything like that, and I think we could.
The selectmen are going after a grant for doing something with the town website.
Oh, great.
So we
Oh,
are
good.
looking at it. Unfortunately, we had a volunteer in town, didn't work out, so
Yeah.
now we've submitted
Oh.
a few requests because we know that the entire website
Yeah.
needs a
Right.
serious overhaul,
Right,
so
right.
I
Yeah.
can keep you posted on.
Right, okay,
where we
well,
are
that's
for
good.
that.
All right.
Yeah, I
That off.
find
Yeah,
it
bug her,
hard.
not us.
So she's taking care of
Not me.
it. So-
Sorry, sorry, I had a moment. She's gonna come take her candy
That's right.
back.
No
Try to
candy.
help.
Like, no soup for you, no candy for you, you're done. Tonight was the last one.
That's all I
Right,
have.
okay.
I can think of a couple other things.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank you, though. Anybody else have anything?
Just briefly, tomorrow morning,
Yes.
we have an invasive plant event at Highland Ridge by the clubhouse.
Awesome.
10 o'clock, Jane Mahoney from SBT is coming.
Excellent.
And she and AJ really set it up, but I'm sure you know, AJ's, Ann has COVID, so he's not able to obviously be here tonight or there tomorrow. I don't know if anybody else is coming. I sent the memo out a couple weeks ago, and then we posted it, and I resent it again tonight because no one did sign up other than AJ and I.
You sent it
Just
via
to-
email?
Email to all of the
Okay,
Highland Ridge.
I will post it on Berlin Neighbors Connect tonight.
Oh, good, thank you.
It might not be enough notice for people for tomorrow morning, but you never know.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Would it be worth putting it on ours Facebook page?
Yeah, I'll put it on both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
because some-
usually post on our page and then share it to Berlin
Right.
Neighbors Connect.
Yeah, because people really respond to that page.
Yeah.
I would have gone, I have a meeting at that time, I think. If I can get out of it, I can show up. Because
Right.
once you sign the waiver, do you have to sign it every time? Or their little release thing for Sudbury Valley? You know how if you
Right.
do participate, you have to sign something? I wonder.
I don't know. Maybe
Sure.
it's once a
Once I-
calendar
once
year or
I'm done,
something.
I think I'm done. Yeah, so if I can show, I'll just show up.
Okay.
But I should email you, because this is slightly revised,
Okay,
so I'll
Yeah.
send it to you as soon as I get home.
perfect.
When
And
is
then I have my
that?
two,
Tomorrow morning.
I have two
I can't
teenage
do it.
grandnephews here from London. They're Jane's, or it's from our niece, and they're two young London hipsters, so they're city boys, but we're pressing them into action.
There you
with the
go.
media, so
Get-
I wish
get
me
some-
luck
get
on how
some
that
dirt
works.
under their nails.
Yeah, we'll see how that works. I'll let you know.
You know,
Yeah.
speaking of Sudbury Valley, they send out where all of the walks that they're going to do,
Mhm.
there's a couple in Berlin. Would we want to post those on our Facebook page? And get people from Berlin to,
We could
Yeah.
share that, yeah.
yeah, they would have to, I think you have to register with Sudbury Valley.
Yes,
Hmm.
yep. Since it's an SVT event. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, the only problem with that, Phil, during the week,
I know.
it's really hard to get people.
I know. They said they picked the day. I mean,
Sure.
she and AJ, I say it respectfully, of course, but
Yeah.
yes, for September, October, we're going to try to look for a weekend.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
she also
Or like in
offered
the
that we could have just maybe we can combine it with another event. They would come and talk about the plants and tell people how to do it then. Maybe that might
That
be a
would be awesome.
possibility, and that may not, I don't know how soon, but
Right.
thought at least we'll start a conversation
We would be
tomorrow.
happy to sponsor something like
Well,
that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let me send this off to you.
Oh, I meant to ask Walter about the Bears. He's,
Bears?
so Walter is he's going back and forth, with the bear specialist from DCR to set up a Living with Bears in Berlin talk.
That would be good. 'Cause
Yeah.
People are freaking out.
People are freaking out, and
Like,
and-
they're black bears.
right.
They're the chillest bears that ever bared.
Right,
It's-
right, but they're still bears, and they're
Yeah.
still,
We're happy with our bear
Yeah.
and Randall. Nobody's complaining about our bear.
right.
I didn't
Um,
catch, what is he working on?
It's setting up a bear talk to
Oh, I
help
see.
educate
Little
people about
education.
how to live with bears.
Right.
Yep.
Because people keep posting, oh, there was one in my backyard.
Right. Yep. And the more houses we build, the more they're going to be in people's backyards.
And front yards.
And front yards
Yeah.
and trail cams and ring cams and
Mhm.
yep. So I will email him about that too. Bears. See how that's coming. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Who wants to make a motion?
I'll move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good, right?
Yeah. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.